reading the simplest and greatest way to broaden the horizons of life. The Depth of Human Nature through Arthur Schnitzler's selected works. You, the reader, might be thinking something like this: I'm far from books, reading is something only knowledgeable and cultured people do. Or rather than reading complex texts, I'd rather sleep or watch a drama. You're right. In a busy daily routine, choosing to open a book can be a difficult decision. However, today, I want to convey that reading is not an exclusive privilege for the elite or a difficult habit, but the simplest and most powerful method to enrich our lives. To guide you on this journey, I'd like to introduce Arthur Schnitzler's selected works, by the great Austrian writer who explored the depths of human nature. The commonly used terms knowledge and cultivation are not limited to degrees or grand theories. They ultimately mean a broad perspective for understanding people and the world, a heart that empathizes with others, and the wisdom to calmly manage life's various challenges. Arthur Schnitzler's selected works is filled with precious stories that gift us with understanding of humanity and wisdom of life. Even if you have little reading experience, his stories will shake your heart and provoke deep empathy, as if you are looking into a mirror. In his characters, you will find reflections of yourself and those around you. 1. Why is reading necessary? Equipping life with a navigation system. Some people think reading is an act detached from reality. But in fact, it is the exact opposite. Reading is a powerful tool that helps us understand the world we live in more accurately and richly. It is through reading that we analyze complex social phenomena, empathize with others' emotions, and unravel the threads to resolve inner conflicts. Throughout life, we face countless moments of decision and unpredictable situations. At such times, reading is akin to equipping your life with a navigation system. It guides you when you're lost, shows you alternative routes around unexpected obstacles, and even helps you discover new paths you've never known before. Stories in books are crystallized reflections of the author's experiences, wisdom, and insights. Through indirect experience, we encounter countless scenarios of life without actually going through them, and learn about the multifaceted aspects of human nature and the complex workings of society. This becomes a strong foundation that enables you to live a wiser, more autonomous life. Especially, literary works like Arthur Schnitzler's selected works go beyond mere knowledge transmission. By delicately portraying human emotions and psychological conflicts, they maximize our ability to empathize. We experience the joy and sorrow, anxiety and desires of the characters, and deeply feel the complexity of being human. This indirect experience broadens our understanding of others and offers an opportunity to confront emotions within ourselves that we've overlooked. True cultivation is not something gained solely by the mind. The ability to understand and empathize with others from the heart, that is the true beginning of cultivation. 2. Who was Arthur Schnitzler? A medical practitioner exploring the depths of human psyche. Arthur Schnitzler, 1862–1931, was an Austrian writer and physician active in the unique spirit of late 19th and early 20th century Vienna. His life coincided with the rise of Freudian psychoanalysis and the turbulent transformation of European society. His father, Johann Schnitzler, was a renowned ear, nose, and throat doctor in Vienna, and Arthur himself received medical training and worked as a physician for a time. This background significantly influenced his literary world. Through his patience, he deeply understood hidden human desires, unconscious realms, and the true nature hidden behind social masks. Schnitzler fearlessly explored human instinctual desires, sexual issues, fear of death, and personal anxieties and frustrations in the rigid and hypocritical social atmosphere of his time. In particular, he excelled in using the narrative technique of internal monologue to vividly expose the inner thoughts of characters. This allows readers to experience the complex psychological states of characters as if they were their own thoughts. So profound was his psychological insight that Freud praised him, saying, "You already know much of my discoveries through literary intuition." Schnitzler was a pioneer who explored the depths of the human psyche in literature before its time. His works sharply criticized the hypocrisy of Vienna's upper class, the double standards of a male-dominated society, and the vulnerable status of young women, while never losing deep sympathy and understanding for humanity. Rather than merely exposing society, Schnitzler portrayed the universal human condition of suffering and wandering within it. This is why Schnitzler's works continue to resonate powerfully with us today, transcending their time. 3. Key themes and insights from Arthur Schnitzler's selected works. Meeting the Me Within. Arthur Schnitzler's selected works is a collection of his most notable short and medium-length stories. Within this one volume, you will find a rich tapestry of human figures and their inner conflicts, as well as tensions with society. Let's explore what Schnitzler's world can mean to us through some representative works. 3.1 Lieutenant Gussel, The Mirror of Self and Social Masks. This work captures the internal monologue of a young soldier, Gussel, over the course of a day. After overhearing a degrading comment in a bakery, he becomes enraged and requests a duel. However, when he learns the other man is only a low-ranking officer, he is devastated by his inability to uphold his honor. Eventually, he even contemplates suicide before finding relief through an unexpected event, the death of the other man. Inside this story starkly reveals how we all often wear hypocritical and double-faced masks in social roles and under public scrutiny. Inside, we may harbor irrational thoughts and desires, yet outwardly we act as polite, rational individuals. Gussel's internal monologue mirrors hidden anxieties, vanity, and even cowardice within us. Readers are prompted to question, am I truly different from Gussel? This story offers a profound look into human complexity and social hypocrisy. If you've ever suffered from public judgment or felt a dissonance between your inner self and outward appearance, Gussel's story will deeply resonate with you. 3.2 Fräulein Else, Youth, Purity, and the Tragedy of Exploitation. Beautiful and young Else visits a wealthy relative to request a loan for her family's financial crisis. However, the relative demands an extremely humiliating price in exchange. Torn between her desperate circumstances and self-respect, Else wrestles with extreme inner conflict as she faces this impossible dilemma. The story vividly portrays her anxiety, anger, and despair through her stream of consciousness. Insight Fräulein Else exposes the tragedy of the socially vulnerable, particularly the exploitation faced by young women in a male-dominated society. Else's shattered self-esteem and desperate situation evoke empathy and anger in readers. Beyond its historical context, this work invites reflection on ongoing social inequalities, gender discrimination, and the exploitative nature of humanity. Empathizing with others' suffering and maintaining a critical view of social injustices are essential qualities of a truly cultivated person. Else's story will encourage you to pay attention to society's hidden corners and cultivate small sparks of thought for a better world. 3.3 Anatole, Love, Desire, and the Futility of Relationships. Anatole is a series of short stories that explore love with a skeptical and playful attitude. The protagonist, Anatole, falls in love with many women but remains aimlessly wandering, unable to find true love. He views love more as a sensory game than a serious pursuit. Insight This work offers insight into the complexity of human desires, emotions, and the futility of relationships. We all yearn for love, yet we are simultaneously hurt and anxious by it. Anatole's behavior perhaps reflects unstable modern attitudes toward relationships. Schnitzler reveals the self-deception, selfishness, and risks of superficial connections hidden behind the name of love. Through this story, you'll be prompted to re-evaluate your own views on love and human relationships, and to contemplate what truly matters in communication with others. 4. Schnitzler's message to modern society. Although Schnitzler's works are set more than a century ago in Vienna, the human nature and social issues he explores are surprisingly relevant to our present. Acknowledging the complexity of the human psyche, we all carry countless thoughts, emotions, and desires that differ from our outward appearance. Schnitzler unveils human duality without hesitation and teaches us the wisdom to understand and accept the complexity of ourselves and others. It helps us develop the eyes to look beyond simple questions like why does that person act that way? And delve into the complex psychology behind them. critical perspective on social hypocrisy and injustice. His characters are either suppressed by the strict moral codes and hypocrisy of their time or exploit these norms to fulfill their desires. This mirrors today's issues: power abuse, bullying, and the image-obsessed lifestyles prevalent on social media. Schnitzler guides us to critically examine social phenomena and seek hidden truths. Essential reflections on life's fundamental questions. His works continually pose unavoidable questions in human life: love, desire, death, honor, and ethics. They encourage readers to seek their own answers to questions like how should I live? And what constitutes a meaningful life? Such philosophical reflection deepens life and is essential for forming one's values. 5. What is true cultivation gained through reading? Let's return to the initial question. In truth, no one is devoid of knowledge and cultivation. All humans possess a latent desire to understand the world and live better lives. Reading is the most powerful means to satisfy this desire and transform potential into reality. Reading Arthur Schnitzler's selected works is more than just consuming a story. It is engaging in a dialogue with a great writer from the past and observing the world through his eyes. Through this process, you will gain the following true cultivation. Flexibility of thought. You will develop the ability to break free from fixed notions, imagine diverse possibilities, and consider multiple aspects of complex problems. Expanded empathy. By experiencing the lives and emotions of characters in books, you'll deepen your understanding of others' joys and sorrows, enriching your real-life relationships. Opportunities for self-reflection. You'll discover your own reflections in the characters, confront your inner contradictions and desires, and engage in meaningful introspection. Improved language and expression. Exposure to diverse vocabulary and refined literary expressions will sharpen your thinking and enable you to express your thoughts and emotions more richly. Wisdom and insight into life. By understanding the depths of human nature and critically examining society, you'll gain the wisdom and insight to address life's challenges with greater clarity and understanding. In conclusion, Arthur Schnitzler's selected works can serve as an excellent introduction to reading, even if you are not accustomed to it. Rather than presenting knowledge or cultivation as distant, lofty ideals, Schnitzler's works offer them in a familiar, relatable form, like the everyday scenery around us. Reading is not simply about reading words. It is a grand journey of exploring the life of someone from another era, listening to their struggles, and ultimately reflecting on your own life. Through this journey, you will uncover the hidden wisdom and cultivation within yourself and lead a richer, more meaningful life. Don't hesitate to open Arthur Schnitzler's selected works. Within its pages, you'll discover unexpected treasures that are uniquely yours. I sincerely encourage you to begin this simplest yet greatest journey of broadening your life's horizons.